Yes, and we're back and we're on day 2 of Strange Horticulture. Thank you for stopping by. Please hit a like or a comment or something if you like this video. And so row H, the third river, was a clue we were giving. Now remember we have a hint button up here. We have our cat that we can scratch. Just have to rub his, yeah, there we go. We press the bell, that'll summon our next customer, but I'm going to investigate this little clue first. So that's row H. You can see that there's row here. So there's third rivers. There's 1, 2, 3. Here's the third river. I'm guessing if we're coming from this way, but if we're coming from this way, which would be ridiculous. The row H, the first river, the river river Beckfoot, or the river H11. So here, let's click on that. Dead deer in the river, yellowed bone protruding from matted hide and rotten flesh. Death for one provides life for many. Put the map up because we can't use it for now. We got a new plant. New plant acquired. I wonder what it might be. So there it is. Let's inspect it closely. The dark blue petals are soft and feathery to the touch. My fingers ache from handling this plant. Now we had just read about something. Which one was it? It wasn't winter boar, was it? Blue aloe? No. Which one was the new one that was so deadly? Wasn't bishop's, was it Clavilium? No, it's not Clavilium. Fox button, that's obviously not a fox button. Gandyroot. Digestive care must be taken. Irritant. Only the petals. Care must be the rough leaves. Dark blue petals. Kinda looks like it. It's got a double thing on it, and this only has a single. Rough leaves can be an irritant. What was the other one that was said you should never touch the? It was so. Wasn't the lemon dandy, obviously. Mary's breath. Wren. St. John's poppy. I thought we had winter boar. Which was the one that was supposedly so deadly that just touching it? Was it Harlequin Blue? Wasn't Lady of Summer, but Lady of Summer, that kind of looks like it. The leaves curl around delightfully, which combined with an attractive flower and hardy nature makes this plant. Age with a memory. All right, so I don't think that's it. Even though that has the double. Gandyroot. The rough leaves can be an irritant. A plant with medicinal properties. So that only has the one, but it kind of bends over like that. It's not fox button or Clavilium or farmer's worry or Butterdale. So I'm thinking this one might be Gandyroot. Might be Gandyroot. So let's go ahead and so Gandyroot. What an interesting name. There's our labels. Gandyroot. And we'll give it a purple label. It lets us know that we're not 100% sure that that's what it is. Alright. Are there other ones that we can go ahead and figure out real quick? Alright, so Gilded Dendra. Do not drink the sap of this plant. Though don't worry. I'm not going to go out drinking sap of plants that I don't know. Or will I? Hard to tell. Some of these are... Remember, some of these are not true. Alright, let's do this. Let's just keep going. I'm sure the game will do plenty for us as we go along. Okay, so day 2. Let's go ahead and give him a scritch. Oh, you can see that the alright. Isidore Burbage. Bring me a sample of epidemesis. Be quick about it. That damn cat is setting off my allergies. Shouldn't have an animal in a shop like this. Isidore Burbage. Burbage is a rich man who inherited a fortune but never experienced the love of his parents. He expects people to do his bidding and is quick to anger. There are many in Undermere who would be glad to see the back of him, but with his wealth comes power, and few would challenge him to his face. Okay, so we need a sample of Epistemissum, which is Gandyroot. And that's the one that we just made, which is interesting because it's the flower we just found, right? Double check. Yep. Good. Maybe he'll prick his hands doing it. I need to be careful. That wasn't the right plant. So that was not Apis demyssus. The Gandyroot. So the one that I thought was Gandyroot wasn't Gandyroot. I just want to change the label. So Gandyroot. There was another one that I thought that it could have been. The leaves are coarse to the touch. Oh, of course. And this one has the single flower. Okay. So let's go here. This is really Gandyroot. Put that up. Labels. Definitely Gandyroot. Definitely Gandyroot. There we go. At least now we know what happens when we mess up. There we go. Gandyroot. Plant identified, and we get another book entry. Mikdu. This beautiful flower. The beautiful flower is made up of many smaller florets, make this sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in unpleasant sores. But I said pleasant for a second there. Alright, so I don't know what happens when we get this rising dread all the way down there. So this is not Gandyroot. So I just put it there. Clear that out. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Just so we know. Not Gandyroot. There we go. Just in case we get confuzzled in the future. Now I wonder if there's any reason to just go doing wild exploration. Let's see what happens towards... Let's keep going and see if anything else comes up. David Chaffet is back. Lake Undermere is looking fine this sunshine day. Got another letter. I like getting letters. Open it, shall we? There's an old slate mine at the hard knot that has some interesting looking fungi growing in it. I've never seen anything like them before. They seem to have found a niche in the damp, dark tunnels left by the tramways. I thought you might be interested. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Don't know who this Amos Duncan fellow is, but I believe this is the second letter we've gotten from him. Old mine at Hard Knot. All right, let's see if we can find Hard Knot. Circle Tower. A lot of places, so it would be interesting. It would be nice if we could search, but I guess we'll learn our way around. Gosforth. Is this where we are? Are we in Gosforth? No, we're in Undermere. We're looking for Hard Knot. There's Hard Knot. There we go. Let's go look around there. An iron gate, rusted by years of abandonment, sits across the entrance to the tram tunnel. Rusted it may be, but it won't budge. It's locked. Okay, so we have a plant just for that. We already figured out what it was. Was it the Clavilium? Why didn't that take us to Clavilium? Clavilium can be used to open any lock, no matter how secure. Clavilium. I thought we had Clavilium. Thought we had a pretty good guess about what Clavilium was. It kind of looked like this one. Many smaller blue flowers. They smell pleasant. Heart-shaped leaves. Now, those are heart-shaped leaves. Marsilia clavis. But let's check out some of these other flowers real quick. That one doesn't seem to have heart-shaped leaves. We know what that is. No heart-shaped... Are these heart-shaped leaves? I don't think so. Smooth, waxy leaves, and those don't look like any hearts from anybody that I've had. My heart doesn't look like that. If your heart looks like that, please see a doctor. The veined leaves. Those are not heart-shaped leaves. The rest of these are not heart-shaped leaves. So let's give this one a shot. Let's see what happens. The only one that was even close. Well, not Gandyroot. What is not Gandyroot? The dark blue petals are soft. My fingers ache from handling this plant. And where to go? Let's give it a shot. There we go. Plant identified, Clavilium. The gate swings open slowly, complaining loudly on its rusty hinges. After a short exploration of the tunnel, I am rewarded. We got 3 new plants. So let's collect our rewards. We got an Auguria. When burned, incense made from the woody stem can enhance psychic abilities, strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. Light blue flowers like rounded tufts of gentle lamb's wool characterize this plant. So we get 3 new plants altogether. And so let's get our Clavilium labeled real quick. Where was it? Closer look. Right, labels. Clavilium. There we go. We'll leave it yellow because we're 100% sure that's what it was, right? The book says Clavilium. Yeah, Clavilium. All right, there we go. Select these 3 new plants. New plants acquired. They look like they're all mushrooms. We don't have many mushrooms in our book though, do we? Check our book again. Ooh, we got 2 pages of books now. Auguria. And so Bishop's Parasol. Now we think we know what that one was. We think that's... Alright, so all of our mushrooms are down here, right? Most of our fungus are down here. No, they're not. So it's just... Can I rearrange them? Yes, I can. That's good to know. I can rearrange my plants. Okay, so let's put all the ones that we're sure about down here. Okay. Fungi down here. Not because I'm being, you know, discriminatory towards the fungi. I'm just trying to get things sorted out a little bit. So here's 2 more fungi. This one looks like it could be one that glows in the dark. Small amount of light. Oh, I've always been intrigued by the idea of bioluminescence. I wonder if I can buy a bioluminescent plant for my house. 1,000,000 of them, so I don't have to pay for electricity. It smells rotten. Something's rotten in the state of Denmark. We'll do some, get all those down there. So all these are those, so I can organize things by their types of flowers, which might be helpful in finding things at some point later. Plants with lots of verticality. Plants that look like this. Get them all on the same shelf. Oops, that's not what I meant. I meant all flowers. Alright, so these are echinacea varieties, stuff like that. Okay, we'll do some more in a little bit. We'll do some more organizing in a little bit. I mean, I'm sure you're not paying big money to come here and watch me do this, are you? Alright, so let's see what's happening now. Now we could do some more exploring if we wanted to. But let's see what let's close this up. Put these over there, put the book away for a second. We're gonna be looking at that book a lot, aren't we? A good book. If you haven't had a chance, like I mentioned in the last episode, look up the Voynich manuscript because that's who the author of this book was, Wilfred Voynich. Basically a book that nobody can figure out whether it's a fraud or a prank or whatever. It's just a description of a bunch of different plants that do not exist. Reuben Ward. Have we seen this fellow before? I'm headed to Grisdale Forest, investigating a possible murder there. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. The Sisterhood are a secretive lot, and they're not keen to talk to me. Their leader, the Arda, or whatever they call her, she's dead. Uh-oh. My instinct is they're hiding something. I was hoping you might have some fox button that would help me win them over. Now I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing that at this point we do have the fox button. So let's go see what fox button looks like. Nice, so it's got those. An offering of fox button is considered by some to represent a contract of friendship between strangers. Thick, shiny leaves grow in opposing pairs along the stems. So this kind of looks like that. There is no... It smells of nothing that I can detect. So there's the thick, shiny leaves. But there's no mention of how it smells. So do we have any other plants? Blue flowers, stiff leaves, thick, shiny leaves. So that says thick, shiny leaves. They don't look Those are more pointy and those are more rounded. So opposing pairs on opposite sides of the stem. So it's got to be one of these two. But I'm guessing, all right, so these look more like buttons than do these. Yeah, these are not, so if you've seen, all right, so I'm not going to go into my limited experience in horticulture, but these are more like fox buttons. These little type things, they look like buttons on a course, on a shirt. All right, let's find out. Is this fox button? Yes, it's fox button. Plant identified, fox button. Then we get a book entry. Brimlock. Those suffering from hypothermia can be rescued by a draft made using leaves from the brimlock plant. It has a warming effect that it protects against extreme cold. When conditions are just right in the cold of winter, brimlock produces small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. And so we just identified this, which was fox button. And so where's our items? Oh, here's our labels. So fox button. Moving right along, getting these dudes identified, which is good. All right, so the bell's waiting for, so what is in the archive? I don't know, we can't pick it up. So what is in the archive? Okay. Just old letters we found. So since we've identified these planets, I guess it would, okay. We'll talk about that at a future date. Who's next? Victoria Gray. I was able to make out the whispered voices last night with the help of the St. John's poppy. There's a medium using the room illegally, I might add, holding midnight seances for gullible grievers. Is there a plant you know of that I could use to give them a scare and drive them away? I need my sleep. You want some Harlequin Blue. How is that going to scare them? I don't know. Let's go back to our thing and let's look up at Harlequin Blue. Alright, when the bushy blue flower heads die back, they release seeds with the downy pappus, which assists in wind dispersal. Okay? Once dried and hardened, the stems can be burned as incense. As they burn, they let out high-pitched shrieks, widely believed to be the spirits of dead souls trapped within the plant. This is my type of flower. That would be a fun little prank flower, wouldn't it? So we know it's not that. Let's see. I don't think it's that. These two or that. Hard to tell which one of these would smell the worst when you burned them. I don't think it's one of... Well, we know that's forest comfrey. Okay, we don't know what this is. So there's got to be one of the flowering plants. It's not the echinacea. Oh, could it be? No, that's lemon dandy. We already know that one. Let's check this out. Blue flowers, light airy scents. Bushy blue flowers die. They release seeds of the downy pappus. Bushy blue flowers and light airy scent. Doesn't really... We don't have that thing in the middle. Well, that's kind of like that thing in the middle, like a bulb. So that bulges out and that goes in there. Let's just look at some of our other ones real quick. It's not so look like this. Small red berries. It's not mentioned in the description at all. The flowers are soft purple, so we want bushy blue flower heads, that's for sure. So here's some. So the forest comfrey. We know this is not it though. The leaves are waxy, so it's not that. We already know what that is. And those are all mushrooms. So those are not blue. We've only got one flower. Well, we've got two flowers that are... But these are not bushy. Blue flowers and stiff leaves. We've only got the blue, and these aren't really blue. But those are blue flowers, light airy scent. That has to be that one. That's the only one we have. We have fox button. Alright, let's see. Harlequin Blue. Let's give it a shot. And that's it. Plant identified. And we get a book entry. Shimmerlung. The dry stem of the shimmerlung burns very brightly and noisily, letting off a near blinding white purple light. Flowers grow wrapped in large ridged leaves. Alright, so... Okay. So this was Harlequin Blue. Labels. Where's our labels? Maybe I should have left... I don't know. Maybe we should... My main concern, if I was going to turn on auto labeling, because my main concern would be, because we're getting lots of plants up here, my main concern would be I would pull down a plant that looks like one and then not label it correctly because I forgot to do something. Just my main concern is forgetting to do something. And who's next? Solve that mystery. Bethany Coleman. You may have heard the rumors that our Arda is dead. May Arduina bring her spirit peace. So I'm guessing this is one of the witches. The nature of her death is unusual. The Sisterhood does not often look for outside help, but this is beyond our knowledge. If you show my sisters this letter, they will allow you entry into the forest. To be assured of your discretion, we require that you use Mary's breath to bind yourself to secrecy. Right? Mary's breath is going to bind me to secrecy somehow. Mary's breath. The wide, waxy leaves allow this plant to be collected the large amount of water it requires. It is said that a person can be bound to secrecy using Mary's breath. It used to be grown in the royal gardens so that the king could ensure the trust of his confidants. The practice fell out of favor. So, wide, waxy leaves. These are wide and waxy. Smooth, waxy leaves. They kind of look like that. Is there anything else that has the smooth, wide, waxy? So that doesn't mention the vein leaves have a waxy finish. Now these are veiny. And you can see that they went through a lot of trouble of putting veins on these. Very difficult. There's lots of veins on these. But no veins on these, right? Yeah, no veins. Smooth, waxy leaves. They're both kind of pointed. Very interesting. That doesn't have them. Those are narrow. Wide, waxy leaves. We know it's not that one. We know it's not this one, probably. We know it's not Gandyroot. Alright, so it's not that one. So it's got to either be this one, smooth, waxy leaves, or this one. Veined leaves have a waxy finish. Let's try this one. Alright, see? Paying attention to the picture helped. I'm actually getting a little bit of dopamine rush from that. Okay, so plant identified, and we got a letter, which will allow us entry into the... Alright, so that was Mary's breath. This is what I'm talking about. So that's down there. So now I have to remember to drag this down here. Get the book out of the way. Put this over here. Mary's breath. There we go. Identified. So waxy leaves. What is this? Look, I found something just sitting up there on the table. So that was right there. Can I put it back up there? No, I can't. They go in clues? Goes in letters. And so we know that... Is that one of our symbols? Upside down. There we go. And so that's one of the symbols. It's the first one we found. So I'm assuming it needs to be there. Okay, so that's the first one we found. Okay, so interesting. Things are making themselves known to us now. And so we want to keep our waxy leaf plants together. Why not? Alright, here's the letter from the witches. We have failed in our duty as protectors of the forest. Our secrets have been stolen and the Arda has been murdered. You will find us deep in Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. Please help us. Yours in hope, the Sisterhood of Arduina. Grisdale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. Wrong letter. Alright, so Grisdale Forest. There's Grisdale Forest. A mile from the lakeshore. Here's Grisdale. A mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. Alright, there's the... So is it right here? The sister tries to stop me from entering, but I show her the letter and she lets me through. I'm ushered into a walled courtyard and then through a large oak door, along a corridor and down a set of stone stairs into a cool basement. Lying on a table draped in silk is the Arda. There's not a mark on her, but her open eyes are black. Her mouth, her veins, her hair, all black as a raven's wings. Do you know what could do this? Asked my escort. And I set to work. Alright, so that's the one we're looking. So we're looking for Wren. Wren is... The long leaves of Wren are known to turn black. Alright, this is the one I've told them. No flower. No flower. Which one of our plants has no flowers? There's this one has no flowers. Smooth, waxy leaves, no flowers. What do we consider to be flowers? Are these flowers? There's a scent that scratches at the back of my throat. Okay, so have I known death? Okay, so the long leaves. It has long leaves and has an irritating scent. But do I have anything else that has no flowers other than the mushrooms, of course? Then this thing had no qualities other than being boring. Call that the boring flower. Boring boar. Where'd it go? Here we go. This has to be it. Not the scratches to the back of my throat. Long leaves. Kind of looks like that picture. Let's give it a shot. There we go. So that was Wren. Wren. Select. Gray sandfire. I sow. I extract a sample of the artist's blood and introduce it to the Wren, and my suspicions are confirmed immediately. The leaves of the Wren turn black, which can only mean one thing: gilded dendra poisoning. Upon presenting my findings, I am rushed away quickly. The sisters do not want me hanging around, it seems. They do, however, send me on my way with a couple of plants, which I am grateful for. Very grateful. So we got new plants. We give them a shot here in a second. So this was the Wren. Drag that there. Wren. Alright, we have solved that. But then let's do one more customer. Isidore Burbage is back. I'm this close to reporting you, half-wit. The last plant you gave me has made my skin itch furiously. I'll have your little shop shut down and torn right to the ground if you don't make this right. Need Butterdale and Meekdew. I need to think carefully about which plant to use here. My actions could have consequences. Butterdale or Meekdew. Alright, so let's go back. Butterdale. Often found growing in clumps on valley sides, Butterdale has been used for centuries as a cure for all manner of skin rashes. Dark green leaves can be stewed and mulched, or I could give him Meekdew. Beautiful flowers made of many smaller flowers make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it is difficult to care for. It may be a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against the bare skin will result in painful sores. So I could be nice to him, or I could make his skin condition worse. So what do we want to do? Often found, Butterdale has been used to cure. The dark green leaves can be stewed. We're looking for those 5 pointed leaves. 5 pointed leaves. Not even sure we even have this plant. Dark green leaves. Doesn't appear that we even have this plant. Well, that's St. John's poppy. Not Gandyroot. So what about this one? Small leaves and delicate flowers. That's definitely not it. So we don't have that one. We don't have that one. Blue flowers, stiff leaves. It's like, oh, what's it? Well, that's St. John's poppy, right? We know that. The leaves have stiff ribs. That was one of our new plants. Turquoise flower, sharp thorns. Soft purple with a sweet scent. I don't even see this. There's our Butterdale. Oh, we already have Butterdale. The purple flowers have a light buttery scent. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So we can give him the Butterdale to help him with his rash. Here's what I'm gonna do. Identify Butterdale. So that was the end of the day. We got the Storian. The dark red fruits cannot be ingested under any circumstances as they are highly poisonous, resulting in insanity and then death. The cross-section of the stem shows the distinctive triple xylem and phlegm of the Storian. And so that was Butterdale. Why was it in a different color? Because we weren't 100% sure, I think that's why. So I'm going to change it to yellow so we know that it's completely identified. So there we go. Another end of another day. It's Strange Horticulture. Thank you for being here, my friends, and I will see you in the next episode.